You may say that these look like a bunch of bushes. That's because they are. You'll add that you've seen them before, and once again, you probably have. But did you know that this one is a male and this one is a female? Or that these leaves were frequently used by Native Americans to calm nerves, purify water, suppress appetite, induce dreams, heal wounds, and regulate menstrual cycles, just to name a few. Yaupon holly farmer Lou Thoman found this research quite fascinating and has since made a career out of learning more, and in turn, sharing more about the wonders of Yaupon holly with the likes of you and me.
This is the Yaupon Farm, research farm. And my position is I'm founder and CEO or, chief leaf, I don't know. My family and I about 11 years ago had a nature walk on Ossabaw Island, which is a barrier island off of Savannah. And we were accompanied by a naturalist by the name of John Crawfish Crawford, who's a local legend around the waters of Savannah. And he introduced me to the Yaupon tree. And he told us about the Native American medicinal use of the plant, also its use as a native tea. I just fell in love with the tree. It spoke to me, and I knew at that moment that I was on a different journey. Yaupon's a native species, so it likes this region, and we're in the region where it grows naturally. What I did here is I propagated wild Yaupon from a maritime forest down in Darien, Georgia on Bird Island, and I transplanted them here, and it loves the soil, loves the climate. What makes it interesting as a row crop is it's drought resistant. The deer really don't like it. It's the last thing they're going to eat. It's cold resistant, and it keeps on growing. It's an evergreen. You just cut it back and it grows back. So it's an interesting endeavor as a row crop.
Lou grows some in the shade and some in the sun. And they do grow well down here in Metter because, after all, it's the plant's native environment.
So here's a Yaupon right here, nice healthy one.
What makes it look healthy? What are you looking for?
It's green, it has new growth, even though it's kind of late in the season. It's going to be dormant soon in the winter, but this is new growth right here. And that has all the good stuff in it. It's kind of like all the power, the caffeine and the antioxidants are all right there. I mean,
is it the leaf and the stem?
The stem, the pliable stems. And it's got, nice and green, and it's a really strong leaf. It's waxy and firm. So here we have some samples of Yaupon under high shade, so it's blocking out a lot of sunlight. And we know in natural forests, you tend to see larger leaves. And this is just a beautiful plant. And this whole section, we're studying under the USDA grant to see what kind of chemistry we get in different shade conditions with different fertilizers as well. And as you can see, this is just a magnificent tree, and all these are big, luscious trees. It does love the shade. Things like theobromine, like the sun, caffeine likes the shade, so these would be higher in caffeine than the ones in the direct sunlight. However, we're trying to see if we can change that a little bit by giving the Yaupon in full sunlight different fertilizations as well. So we're still trying to figure some things out about what happens in direct sunlight and why.
Theobromine, you had a name for that, a nickname.
The elixir of the god, that's the alkaloid that's in dark chocolate that everybody craves. And so Yaupon has a lot of it. And it's an interesting possibility to extract the theobromine as a product. People want the feel-good elixir. Yaupon was also referred to as the Christmas berry tree during colonial times, and the colonials really loved it as a tea as well. But the berries, we think, have nutritional or medicinal value as well. We just haven't really done a lot of work on that. This is a male plant, so the female has berries, the male does not. And it's an incredible pollinator too. It makes beautiful honey. It almost tastes savory. It's sweet, but not sweet like a lot of honeys. A lot of people say that it tastes like a little rosemary in it.
Lou and his business partner, Lori Judge, have gone all in on Yaupon since 2010 when they were first introduced to the plant. Since then, they have achieved many firsts in the industry. They took the first ready-to-drink Yaupon tea to the market, received the first USDA grants to promote Yaupon tea, started the first dedicated Yaupon farm focused on perfecting techniques for growing and processing, and established their position as the first national distributor of any Yaupon product.
It's neuroprotective, anti-diabetic, anti-obese, cardiovascular productivity, anti-cancer activity, antibacterial.
And in 2019, they took it a step further, sharing their amazing product with residents and visitors in Savannah, Georgia, with the opening of this adorable tea house and apothecary in the heart of downtown Savannah's historic streets.
Everything in this store has some tie-in to the Yaupon holly plant, the plant that we are very passionate about. Yaupon was used for skin care, for wound care. It's an antibacterial. And it's also full of those saponins that I mentioned, which are great for skin. It's great for the internal part of the body, but it's also really good for your skin. So we have a daily facial oil. We mix this with all organic, beautiful ingredients. And this is our biggest seller. Vogue magazine did a piece on this particular product, and that's our biggest seller. Herbal smokes. Medicine men did smoke Yaupon. We don't know a lot about the tradition of smoking it, but it was smoked to maybe invoke dream sequences, maybe to help divine what kind of remedy he should give to his patients. We also have Yaupon incense. Being a sacred plant, we thought that would make a great modern day product, and people love it. We sell a lot of these. Ready to drink teas. Once again, a modern version of an ancient tradition.
And it's here I had the opportunity to discover this amazing Georgia-grown product that Lou thankfully rediscovered and continues to explore. So cheers to Lou and the Yaupon holly, and only time will tell what new therapeutic and tasty qualities this unassuming little plant has to offer.